The online coaching industry is at a critical crossroads right now. If you remember back to the COVID lockdowns between now and 2020, when we had that massive spike to moving online, millions and millions of coaches around the world scrambled to get their online offerings up and running. People essentially traded their in-person coaching offers to online coaching offers, which mainly meant spending a lot of time coaching people behind Zoom. All right, often in their underpants, doing live recordings and all of this stuff. What has basically happened is that opportunity of online coaching that was so incredible a few years ago has really started to diminish. The reason it started to diminish is because anytime there is a new adoption of a technology by the majority of people, the competitive advantage that early adopters had 4 years ago has diminished. And so the question is, where do we go from here? And what can you do about it? That's what we'll be talking about in this video. I'll give you exact step-by-step process on what the market is saying now and where the new opportunity actually lies. Because what's happening right now in the online space is that it has become completely saturated. There are millions of coaches online who are vying for attention. They're posting the same content, saying the same words, they have the same offerings. It's just a complete race to the bottom right now, which means you can't charge the prices that you want to charge. You're going to be capped with the amount of time that you have to spend in a day, and oftentimes you'll get to 10, 20 clients, and before you know it, you're in burnout city. Right? You've got Zoom fatigue, your eyes are screwed. Essentially what's happening is client acquisition and getting new clients becomes incredibly difficult because the market is so flooded with the same offers and commodified products and services. And essentially what's happened now is the market has become so flooded with online coaches who mean well, they have a lot of stuff to give, can't actually compete, and it becomes a race to the bottom where a select few top-end influencers and top-end businesses control the market share, which means they have very affordable offers, very affordable products with a hell of a lot of value, which makes it very hard for you to compete against them. Why would a client choose you over a big established business if you're simply offering exactly the same thing? All right, and so it becomes near on impossible for someone like you to compete against these big businesses without the huge marketing budgets they have, the teams editing their content, producing all of this stuff. It's very hard to compete against them. Okay, and so we need to find a new way for you to actually find your share in the market, and so you can position yourself away from the masses of people who have flooded the online coaching space. And actually, if you identify with the label online coach, that is a surefire way to fall into the commodity trap. A commodity is just something that is readily available out there. And that means demand for your services is completely attached to what the market is doing. It's actually got nothing to do with what you say, what you do, and how good your product is. And so you'll only ever be able to charge a certain amount if you associate with the label of being an online coach. Do you really want to be coaching people over Zoom 8 hours a day? Do your clients really want to experience that? They could potentially go down to their local gym, train with someone in person, and actually have that human interaction. I know this is probably not what you want to hear. It's probably not what you got into coaching in the first place for. What the majority of well-meaning individuals who think that they need to get online is they've simply traded their in-person coaching service for an online coaching service, which is less high quality, less human touch, it's more draining, and actually, it's a less fulfilling business model than in-person training. Yes, provided you can serve more people, but more clients doesn't necessarily mean a better quality of life and a better business. All right, because what tends to happen is people get more clients and then their service quality starts to drop, people start to complain, and then it just becomes this downward spiral of negative referrals and your reputation decreases as a result. All right, so to help you navigate this challenging landscape, this saturated market right now, I want to introduce you to a concept called the technology adoption lifecycle. This model can be applied to any industry in the world, and understanding this is going to allow you to spot future opportunities and be innovative in your industry ahead of the curve rather than catching up. For example, when the market moved online, it might have taken you a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to actually start taking action on this, which meant that you are behind the curve. You missed out on the first mover advantage. You missed out on actually claiming that piece of the market share. When you hear about all of these businesses who made millions and millions of dollars, was because they knew about this adoption life cycle. If you can understand this, you can see, all right, where is the next opportunity coming along? Because if you ever feel FOMO, fear of missing out, because an opportunity has come and gone, I promise you there are going to be more opportunities coming, and there are opportunities happening every single week. And an awesome quote that I love about this, I think this is Jim Rohn, but he said, the opportunity of a lifetime comes around once every 2 weeks. And I love that quote because it helps you reframe opportunity. It helps you reframe and be like, look, it's okay, I missed that boat, but I can definitely jump on the next one. So I want you to see that there is a new opportunity for you to latch onto. The 5 stages of technology adoption look like this. Usually a very small percentage, around 2.5%, are innovators. These are the risk takers who are the first to adopt new innovations. All right, things like moving online, developing online products, and who were there before things like the lockdown. When the lockdown happened, these people made a lot of money. The next stage are early adopters, around 13.5%. These are usually opinion leaders who embrace change and have influence to bring others along. If you ever saw that funny video at a festival where that one dude was dancing by himself, he looked kind of crazy, no one really wanted to join him, he was an innovator. All right, but the true early adopter were the 2 or 3 people who actually jumped into that and started dancing with him. And so what ended up happening was those people jumped in, and then the third stage, the early majority, started jumping in too. All right, and these were the people who adopt innovation after a varying degree of time, but significantly longer than innovators and early adopters. When they jumped in, which is 34% of people, the fourth stage, the late majority, then jumped in. These are usually the people who are skeptics, who adopt an innovation after the average member of society. They probably looked at the innovator and were like, what the hell, this guy's crazy. But when they saw the early adopters and the early majority jumping in, they jumped in. And then finally you have the laggards, which are 16%. These are the last to adopt innovation, typically resistant to change and focused on traditional business models. Now, if you're thinking about going online, you can start to see, all right, where are the next innovations happening and how can I position myself ahead of this curve? All right, and so now if we look at the stages of technology adoption, we see that the online coaching industry is saturated with the late majority and the laggards. The early adopters are already eyeing the next big opportunity. Your goal now is to reposition yourself ahead of the curve, moving away from the overcrowded, commodified space of traditional online coaching. All right, so there's a new opportunity coming ahead. So now is a perfect time for you to position yourself away from the masses flooding the online coaching space with generic offers. This will ensure you gain early adopter advantage, right? Capturing a larger audience, a bigger share of the market, and ultimately increasing your sales and revenue tenfold. Now, the new opportunity for you is to build a digital, automated, and scalable environment around your brand. Rather than just having a simple online coaching one-on-one, behind Zoom service, building an environment that becomes your brand. Your brand is the environment. It's not your logos, it's not your colors, it's not any of that crap. But actually, it's your environment that people come into and they learn to trust you. They become part of your community, all right? And so this is why we see things like community being such a huge talking point right now. You see this in London with the run clubs, you see this with High Rocks, you see this with all of the top gyms like Bamboo Fitness, Nirvana, the Bali Time Chamber. It's all centered around community and the environment that their brand has actually created. There are 5 steps you can do in order to actually start positioning yourself ahead of the curve. All right, and so step 1 is solidifying your brand's identity and environment. Branding isn't just about logos and colors, it's about differentiation. Right? Branding in its traditional sense is all about positioning yourself away from the masses. A really good book to read on this is Red Ocean versus Blue Ocean. I probably screwed up the title of that. But essentially what it talks about is that anytime there is mass adoption of something, that means the majority of the market is in a red ocean. It's called a red ocean because sharks are feeding and the water is red. There's people trying to take advantage of that initial shift in the market. And so branding is all about the process of moving away from the red ocean into the blue ocean, swimming out of the red ocean where the chaos is and finding your own piece of the market where there are no sharks feeding. You can actually claim that part of your market by differentiating your brand, finding what makes your brand unique, and positioning yourself as the new technology in the space. That is what branding is all about. Branding is positioning. Branding is about standing out from a crowd. Branding is about getting out of the saturated market. And that's why brand is your ticket out of the masses of online coaches right now. This whole process of brand differentiation and finding what makes your brand unique is a process that we guide people through in our Brand Accelerator program. You can check out that program by heading to the link in the bio. I have a whole video series built on this, giving you the first 6 building blocks of actually developing a unique brand. All right, step number 2 is to develop a valuable lead magnet. Now, this might sound super simple. You might have heard people talk about it in the past, but basically what we're trying to do here is build your funnel and your system from the top down. So what is the first bit of free value that you can give in exchange for someone's email address so you bring people into your system rather than just having people bouncing around on social media with no real idea on how to actually get in touch with you and how to take things to the next step. Usually what you want to do with this is really nail down on the specific core problem that your client is facing and develop a solution around that. This can take the form of an ebook. This can take the form of a digital brochure. It could be a video series, whatever it is. It needs to address those people's problems, but also communicate that to them in an emotional way. All right. Emotion is the fuel that gets people to take action on your offers. And if you don't have emotion in your marketing, you are going to be in the red ocean. The majority of people are posting pictures or videos of themselves doing bicep curls. Their content is robotic, it's logical, it's mechanical. And those are all things that human beings are not. All right, and so you need to be able to inject emotion into those lead magnets that really ignites people to get them to take action on the next step of this process. The third step is to create your first scalable, low-cost product, the thing that is easy to access. Developing a scalable solution priced between $3 to $100 that can be purchased seamlessly after someone accesses your lead magnet. This tripwire product gets clients into your ecosystem. This is where so many people online are leaving huge amounts of money on the table. All right, your scalable solution, once you can tap into the following steps and build an audience, is generally the thing that's going to make up 50 to 80% of your income online. All right, look at ATG for coaches, for example. Their ATG Zero program is $50 and that makes up 80% of their entire business's revenue. Now, provided they've managed to get in front of a million or so people and they have effects at scale. But that is the level that you need to be playing at. You need to develop a low ticket program that gets people into your system and gets them to trust you. Because if people can trust you with something that's low ticket, it's accessible, it's scalable, it's automated, it doesn't require you to be behind Zoom, you're going to get people into your ecosystem and get them into your brand environment so they can be nurtured by you, supported by you, and become part of your community. Step 4 is to build a community and provide ongoing value. The brands that are winning right now are the ones that lean heavily into community building. The key is to foster community around your brand through engaging content, social media interaction, webinars, events, live events, and your goal is to give away your best information for free, teaching people valuable insights one step at a time consistently. All right, so it's not enough just to post random videos every now and then, but you want people in your digital ecosystem. You want them engaging with your content on a daily basis and really learning to trust and feel a part of a community that's bigger than themselves. Because the whole push towards personal branding, the whole push towards getting on social media is now really leaning into the community side of things. And so the community is what's going to create longevity for your business. When people buy those low ticket programs or whatever your scalable solution is, this is what is going to get them to stick around. We don't want to just create something that's one and done and that's it. The whole concept of passive income is quite a load of hogwash, if you ask me. Your ability to build your brand's environment that is based on community and provides value over time is what creates lifetime customers and helps you take random strangers online, turn them into friends, and then from friends into loyal paying customers. That is the process that you need to lean into. That is the new innovation that's happening online right now. It's based around trust and community. Step 5 is when you can start to develop other products, multiple products at higher ticket prices. Anything over $100 to $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000, whatever you want. Ben Patrick has a $10,000 for one-on-one coaching. If someone wants to go work with him, that's what they got to pay. Tony Robbins, he charges $1 million per year to work with people like Conor McGregor. They both have a selection of digital products that lead up to that high ticket solution. So rather than going into the market with this high ticket solution, develop that low ticket scalable thing first, put people into a community of your brand's ecosystem, nurture them over time, and you're going to have an infinite flow of high quality leads and clients being nurtured over time and actually paying more for your services as they get to trust you more and more. All right. What I see the future moving into is a hybrid between in-person and digital. If you really want to be someone who adds value and helps people overcome big problems in their life, it's having a digital component to your community, but also having a place where people can come for peak experiences. Look at the Bali Time Chamber, for example. They've developed this incredible facility where people go to, they experience, they connect with other people. It's all based around community and shared values. And what they're going to potentially do now is develop more of a digital community and a digital side of things. How can you create a hybrid model between what you're doing in person and online? That's also going to future-proof you for any time a global lockdown happens again. You'll have a digital aspect and you'll have an in-person aspect. Now, the in-person aspect is also so important for developing things like content, trust. Imagine if you did an in-person event and you got people to come take photos of you, take videos of you. That is such a great form of social proof. If people can see you out there shooting and teaching, that is really going to get people to lean into your brand and your environment more than just the traditional online coach. That business model is capped, saturated, and it's going to be very difficult to get any success sustainably through that way of doing things. All right, so I'm just going to highlight the framework that we take all of our clients through, and you can get this whole framework if you just go watch the video series now. I think it's video number 6, where we introduce the concept of the Dez Framework. This system building approach is encapsulated by Dez. It's an acronym for a digital, automated, recurring, evergreen, and scalable system. You want your system to be digital, leveraging online platforms to reach a global audience. You want it to be automated, so you want to have systems that work for you around the clock, making it easy for people to purchase from you. And then you want your system to be recurring, creating offerings that generate consistent income. This might be subscription based, it might be some sort of payment plan, whatever it is. If you can tap into that, that is incredibly powerful. And then the fourth element of the Dez model is evergreen. Providing value means that it is relevant over time. Now, this provided is a lot harder to actually achieve. And for example, with the content we produce, we need to update our programs and our courses consistently, and that's fine, right? But it's digital, it's automated, it's recurring. And then you want your system to be scalable. And that means designing models that can grow without you having to be on Zoom calls all day long. And so you don't have to have all of those elements, but if you can have 2 or 3 of those elements, you're doing incredibly well. By embracing Dez, you're building your brand's environment, an ecosystem where clients can easily engage deeply and grow alongside you and your offerings in a natural and sustainable manner. The coaching industry is evolving rapidly every single month, and staying ahead of the curve requires strategic positioning. It requires you to be conscious about your brand's environment and how it's showing up in the world. By implementing the processes shared in this video, you're going to start positioning yourself away from the crowd into your own blue ocean. You're going to have a system that grows organically and scalably, and all you will need to do once you have your system in place is focus on funneling as much traffic to that as possible. When people come through your system, you're going to start making sales, you're going to start getting high quality leads, and you're going to start enjoying more time and money freedoms because you've actually built a business that provides you with the best quality of life possible, that isn't one that's just plugged behind a computer screen all day. All right, so if you want to learn how to implement the processes and you want to build a brand that stands out from a saturated market, check out the video series in the description of this video. I break it down over 6 main elements, and you can get that all now for free. All right, so dive into that. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and do all of that cool stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.